Alright, the fourth commandment. The fourth commandment is known as the Creator is in God. It is written and known as this day lay in your heart, and the greater Creator of the greater God of the Lord. If this name of the greater is included in the name of the name of the Lord, this is no distinction between them. The name of the Lord in heaven and the greater God is the Navak of the female of the heaven. This essential the essential of the unite with the God with the Namak means the property similar to those, no distinction between them. The name of the greater God and of the Navaka will include in the name greater name of the God, so that Navaka herself will become as God's name. The union signifies the perception of light of wisdom of the heaven, for the union implied with the rewards her, O Israel, reception of the light of the body of the seeing of the heaven. Unite questions her as the perception of the light is the sight of the right of the sun, light of this Genesis or wisdom. One can never receive the entire degree, and then one on go. The first body received only then the Garden of Eden. Hence, this is written: "Lest the stars in heaven shine upon earth." That means with both name of God's name and Ecolium, the greater God as one. This way, the greater God shall merge with the name of the greater God and God of heaven. The black light of man will the black light. With the white light as one, with a distinction white that will cloud by day, and with the pillar by the fire in my night. The proper day of the heaven merged from the property of the night, so the moon, so they shine as one star. Okay, Navaka is also called a small star initially, but those two stars, the God and man, both were on the same side of the God and the heaven and the moon were both on the same, but the moon complained that the two stars cannot use the crown and source of light. The Creator replied to the moon, "Go and diminish yourself." As a result, the 9 lower sephras of the man depends on the parseh of the world beyond, and only the heaven light of the Keter de Moshe remain in the world of Asval. This tax is righteous and elevated the 9 lower sephirah of the man with the world beyond, with low of the heaven with the correct that is distinction of the man, to grow back and make her equal with the greater, and once more then she becomes the marriage of the God's face to face. Thus they shall grasp the detachment of man from the God that was born of the moon's complaint. The moon complained because it was unable to receive the light directly from the mother, but only with a Viva heaven. Hence the Creator gave it this advice, and diminished yourself to the point where Sephrai, Keter, and Lord denying the Sephrai of the Hokmah, men believe the Parsa of that only the unity hear, O Israel, rebuild man with the body and lower unity. Blessed be his greater name forever and ever, for the power of the judgment with, and it correct the letter of the knowledge in the word of the Shad during turning the dry land into fruit yielding earth. Therefore, no black point of the man, no black point of the moon calleth the fail of the cup of the important light, with resistlessly strives strictness for the judgment, and build the letter of the knowledge in which the Ashad makes the fruit bearing. And if the moon had not had this power of judgment, the letter of man had not had this power of judgment, the letter Dalit and the word Ekwud or Tavan would remain dry land. Hence, the light present inside her power of the judgment restriction becomes more important than light itself, and further becomes the cause of the source of the light of the body and light of mercy. This is now possible to receive the light of wisdom in the body of the man, while even elevating the heaven to the as seen. And for now, just like heaven, the female can unite with this vision in her property. This was based for her previous complaint with light of restriction, power of the turning, to call with light of diffusion. Hence, the heaven and man are considered a single whole, each of the constituting with the source of the light, other with which previously man was completely dependent on the God. Therefore, felt humiliated. As a result, the union of God and the female in this light of the God connects the father and the female mother turns into the white clouds in the daylight, and the female turns into a pillar of fire, the light of night, and property of the day and the night, and merge into her own property. It was written, and there was evening, and there was morning one day. Together they illuminate in the earth and those who inhabited the female in the world of beyond. The sin of the preamble of the serpent that unites below, but separates, and hence the cause of the world, which should be united with above, and should be separated below. The black light, which the man should be united with above, God is a single whole, and then separate him from the evil side. The union and fulfillment of the heaven for the light of wisdom occurs only when the ascending of the light of the above the eaves of the Alsva, which the heaven merge for the father and female merge with the mother. As a result, they unite with the God and pass over the light of man, light of wisdom to the man. However, the permanent place of the heaven below the eve of the Alsva, they cannot form a union, although the female can receive the light of wisdom. Exactly provided Adam sins and allowed serpent to bring the death into the world. August is appearing with the light of wisdom of the man, but the compelling Adam and Eve to make a union impermanent with the place of the heaven for the place of Eve of the artistic result. The upper union stopped in the vision of these heavens started passing on the light of wisdom from the light down to the man. As all the parts of the soul of the man exist in the world, stop the receiving the light of wisdom from the seeing the regard of the death as for a sooner than pure force of the approach with the together on heaven to draw the light of the wisdom and visions that immediately terminate the union from the cycle of heaven to prevent impure force from clinging on the heaven as soon as the light of the wisdom and departs from the heaven and impure force to leave them at once and approach the level of heaven and put the sole purpose of feeding on the light of wisdom. However, after being with mother and receiving the light of wisdom, man descends into the impermanent place of the path of the light of the souls of the righteous, called the inhabitants of the man. She unites with them in the equivalence of the property of the absence of unity of the heaven below. Man draws far from the evil side, and impure forces cannot receive from her. Alright, nevertheless, one should know that the greater God and the name of the God are one without distinction. The name of the God is the greater God, and it knows that all is one and does not cause any separation, that even the opposite of the impure forces disappear from the world instead of descending below. Although there is a fear of union between the heaven and their place below, there causes no stop the aspiring of the union above the vision. More, one must attain the name of the God, and as greatest God, achieve the union of the God with the female, even if the man raises his prey, thereby causing heaven to ascend at the time unity. Thereby, impure forces are completely rejected by light, weakening and finally disappearing from the world. The secret behind the word Mariat, which consists of the word Mavat, death, and or, light, is the impure forces of knowledge. Understand the thought and its light, which is the opposite from the death of Maviat, or light. Inside the death, Mavat is spelled Mayat, in the word Mariat, the allowed the fact of light separates the death, but light disappears and the letter unites with the form of the word death. This impure force is follow the reason, knowledge, and understanding thought. The reason signifies light, impure forces and death. Light connects the letters, and will death separate them. His explanation for the power restriction of man is the source of the emergency. Impure forces which become the light of God, heaven united with the light, with the received light of the body, with the guardian even power of the restriction of man turned into the light, receiving the light of the body, and within the union below. This is the ascent of the light of the once born, and the man merges heaven in its degree of the light. The union above is designated by the word of Mariat, O Marivat, as is result of the light of the body of the God and evil descent within the female, with the union heaven at level of the provision, power restriction of the man turns into the light, and all impure forces were created, but the restriction disappeared for the roots and the turns of the light. Consequently, the letters of the word Mariat into impure forces disappear. The word Mariat occurs, Mariat or appears instead. Or Eve started with these letters and brought the evil into the world. As with the Britain of the world saw them, it was good to bring them the letters in the world. The Mariat back, for she took the letters of Vata, Rishi, Alpha, leaving the only letters of Mem and Vav. They took them in the letters Vav, they using the formal word Memvat, or Mavat, death. They brought death into the world. Thanks to the unity of the letters, Miorat designates the reception of the light of wisdom in heaven, the unity of the wisdom, and above the received light and separate life of the Mavat, inside death. The name of the soul provider. Eve draws the letter with the word Mariat, meaning she has followed the serpent's advice to unite the God at their place below, and doing so she violated the holy union letters of the word Mariat, and the union of heaven below immediately caused the separation of the light with the Marriott into the orb of light and the death. Impure forces called death contain a male part called Sam and a female part called Liliet. The letter Mem is the male part with the name Mavet, and also called Sam. The letter of Tevat is the female part called Liliet. Thus, they were the union between male and female parts. Let the Met and Tevat Yesod V'Yav form the Maviet as the name of the impure force. This signifies the appearance of the serpent with the Eve and the transforming impurity from her as she followed the advice of the letter of the Tevat, entered the hair, splitting the word or light and combining the letters into the word Vetri and saw, and the male part of the impure force of the Memvam appeared the maiden in the union with Tevat, and which was already present in the female Eve. Thus the Tevat and death appeared in the world. And look, Rabbi Elser, my father, I learned everything that after Eve has removed the letters Vitar from the word Marriott, the letters Mem, the Vav did not remain. Only the letters of Mem remained in the letter Vav, and the letter Life turned into Dalet. This occurred because it attached the letters Vav to itself, and thus forming the word Mavet. He replied, "Blessed are you, my son." Rabbi Elser answered the letter of the Mem remained alone without the letter of Va, and Va designated Yesod, whereas Sam, the male part of the impure force, lacks the Yesod. Hence it was written, the unable procreating offspring, a kin castrated of the man. The letter of the Vav designated the Yesod and placing the union of male part and female parts of God. The letters of Va always designates the life of the Yesod of the pure force of the union bears fruit and has made on the screening for the side and for Yesod. Alright, here pure the letter Vav become the pure turn, but the Yesod over the impure forces of Mavat, and Va reviewed the Yesod after the pure forces united in the zigzag of Tav, and the world Mavat was formed, where this was brought asleep with the sin of Adam, which defiled the pure of Va. Alright, the fifth commandment.